Hi everybody, this is Manny with Dallas Microgreens. Welcome back to the channel. Thought I'd do a little update on my process, just a quick summary on how I keep my microgreens growing week after week to provide a good quantity for me and my wife, and we can have salads about every 2-3 days. Just hit these microgreens, gives us 40 times the nutrients of regular broccoli or spinach or any full-grown vegetable. You can get a lot more out of these microgreens for nutrition, and they taste good. They're quick and easy to put down because you only need about a cup of them to get a maximum load of vitamins. I started a health change for myself. I changed my diet, removed a lot of sugar and processed flours, went to a whole foods type diet, just based on just simple foods, no processed flours, like I said, and it made a dramatic difference by including these microgreens into my diet. I was getting that nutrition I needed. I didn't go on any heavy fitness program. All I did was simply change my diet, and I started walking 3 times a week, just 20 minutes, just to get that aerobic activity. I already have a physical job where I stand up on my feet all day, so that helps a lot, not being in front of a computer screen. But doing that within, so I started that last November, and we're right now, we're just at the end of July, or mid to end of July. 8-9 months of changing my diet, I lost 26 pounds. Not that I was looking to lose the weight, but it just happened as a result of putting better quality food into my body, doing a little exercise. So again, part of what I did to make that change was incorporating these microgreens. One of the problems with microgreens is because they're a small stage plant. They're the seed up until the first set of true leaves. That's the mature date on these. And these are not special seeds. The cauliflower that you see right here in front of me, the broccoli right here, the kale. This is regular kale seeds, regular cauliflower seeds that you would buy from your local hardware, your gardening center. The difference is I buy them in bulk. I just received my shipment from True Leaf, and like I said, I don't receive any compensation from these guys, but it's just a good quality resource for seeds, especially in microgreens. They tailor to the microgreen community, and you can see I get my seeds in here, and I get them in 1-pound pouches. They're, in some cases like broccoli, that can be 150,000 seeds in one bag. And when you populate a tray with several hundred seeds in one harvest, then you're going to go through a lot of seeds. The good news is this isn't an expensive proposition. A pound of seeds will run you roughly $20 to $30, and that will last you for many, many grows. I kind of did my cost per tray on these, and it was averaging about 40 cents of my cost after I paid for my investment in the auto watering system and things like that. But based on my non-soil bed that I put in here, and I'll show you what that is here shortly, the cost of the seeds, it's really not a whole lot, and so you can get a good quality harvest. This tray right here is worth $40 on the retail market. When I break this down into 2-ounce servings, and not even servings, 2-ounce portions to provide to customers. If you see those little plastic clamshells at the grocery store, that's a 2-ounce size, and then the bigger ones are 5. The 2-ounce sizes sell for $5 to $6 at our local grocery store for good quality organic microgreens. So you're looking at little sections this big of $5 each. That adds up. But my cost, again, for personally consuming is way down because again, buying those bulk seeds, they're not expensive. This is a luxury to have an auto watering tray that fills up water in the reservoir over here. The aqua valve handles providing the feed to the rest of the bed. And then the advantage over here is the trays here. As you can see down here, let me pull this up so you guys can see it. That's your roots right there. Nice, clean, no rot going on those roots, and it's just sitting in a bed of water. Here's the best part: there's no feeding on these microgreens. I always forget to mention that, but in my process, I don't provide any nutrients because the plants are actually mature before they need any additional food. They get everything they need. The carbohydrates come from the first set of leaves right here in the plant itself. Inside of the seed is a food source for the plant. So again, unless you're going to keep it in the bed for more than 7-8 days, you don't need any supplemental nutrients. And if you're using a system like I am, these plants are mature. These sunflower seeds are 6 days old. They'll be ready to harvest tomorrow. Same with this cauliflower. Another set of sunflower seeds over here, and then the kale and broccoli. They're ready to harvest right now, but I'm going to go another day and then pull them. I'm going to go ahead and dry out the beds, which means I turn off the water from the main line supply, which is over here on the side. That'll start drying out the beds, and that way they'll last longer when I put them in the refrigerator. When I drop them in the refrigerator, I use a container like this. I label what it is, and then I drop the greens. Now these greens are already a week old, and they're just as fresh as the ones that are up there on the tray. I have a lid, and it has a carbon filter on the back that helps with degassing the what's inside of here when the plants are going through their process of aging. Just want to keep it as dry as possible, and the best way to do that is to make sure that when you harvest, you're not harvesting super wet microgreens. Then these will go in the refrigerator. Here's another example. These are the sunflowers, and they're just crisp and great and really enjoyable to eat. Just drop them on a salad or where you would with a sandwich, anywhere where you're using romaine, lettuce, spinach. Substitute the microgreens. The other thing is, if you don't cook these, which is I don't advise ever cooking a microgreen, you're getting the maximum nutrition because the antioxidants will dilute or they'll degrade with heat. So as you saute your spinach, you heat up some of your greens, broccolis, you steam it. Who wants to eat a raw broccoli or a cauliflower? The problem is you're losing a lot of the nutrition out of the plant. It already started 40 times with less nutrition, and then you go and you hammer it with some heat, and you're removing a lot of the vitamins that are available in that plant. So the best way to get them is in their really baby stage. Before they even become a baby spinach or a baby leafy green, you can get it in the microgreens, and it's maximum impact on that nutrition. And they're so easy, and they actually taste so much better than the full-size plant, in my opinion. Your cauliflower, your broccoli, they're just so nice, and they're not bitter, or they don't have that broccoli kind of overall flavor. That it has a it's broccoli, but it's just not as intense. And for example, up here I have some cantaloupe. This cantaloupe smells and tastes just like the full-size cantaloupe, but it's a microgreen. Something you can incorporate into your fish dishes, your salads, and just kind of change the profile of what you're eating by adding some of these different types of seed varieties that are available to you. And as I said before, True Leaf is a great place to get them. I buy them, again, by the 1 pound bags. I have all of my resupplies here, and I wait for a sale to come out just like everybody else, and then I grab some. The other thing that I use is I don't use a soil-based media. I use a peat-based soil, and it's this stuff right here. It's Pro Mix. If you can see that. The Pro Mix HP is what I use. It has everything that the plant needs, which is primarily a stable bed for the roots to develop very quickly without a lot of issue. And it's made of just the Canadian peat, which is a really nice porous media, and then it's got some perlite in there, and what that does is that helps with keeping the moisture in, but the aeration is still there. You're getting it. It's not stagnant. It's not providing a media for any kind of rotting. And again, you want maximum growth out of these very quickly. So a non-porous soil for me in the peat moss variety works the best. I've tried non-soil with just silicone food grade mattings. I've used regular soil potting mix, and my favorite by far is the is the HP version of the Pro Mix, and you can get that also. You can order it in. I buy it locally from a nursery, and I buy it in the big bags, and it's economical that way for me. So again, just getting my soil up into these beds. Then I let the auto watering system from Autopot USA, the tray to grow system is what I recommend. I have 3 of them up here running. And then up on top, I have a reservoir. Up there is my reservoir. So I have a 7-gallon tank, and it feeds along the side into these individual trays. And let's go take a look at those plants up close. So there you go, you got your sunflowers. I got the fans cut off right now so you guys can hear me. This is your cauliflower, just a nice tight bed. There's a lot of seeds in here. And so I'm getting a maximum grow from this tray. And this trays allow me to max my per shelf. I can get the maximum amount of seeds up in here and still stay within the 2 by 4 foot footprint of the rack system. This is my kale. Let's take a look at the bottom of the kale. Down there's the bed. So there's your copper liner on the tray to grow system. And the media here, the peat moss, is moist, but it's not soggy. And that's real important, that you give a bed that provides what these plants need for maximum growth, which is always the watering. If you miss one day of watering on microgreens, you can put the plant into a state of shock, and then all of a sudden it's not growing as well as it was maybe the prior day. And it only takes that 12-hour, 18-hour window. If you miss that watering schedule, you're going to stunt the growth on these plants. But by having the auto watering, having this aqua valve that controls the water level in the plant, there's no electricity. It's just gravity fed, but the consistency makes a successful grow every week for me. Something you guys might want to consider adding to your system if you're running into struggles with growth, turning a crop every 7-8 days. If you're seeing a lot of patchiness, I have that happen. I walk into this grow room when I had manual trays that I would water. I'd walk in here and the plants would be laid over. And there's nothing that feels worse when you have a beautiful canopy, you missed one watering day, and all of this is laying over, looking sad. And if you're lucky, they'll perk back up, but in many cases, that's all it takes, and they'll never revive. The stems are very delicate, they're very small. And if the water supply stops, the stem loses its strength, it lays over, and that pinch in the stem doesn't allow it to come back up and pop back up the next day. You'll have to harvest it, or just, deal with the fact that you might have to, cut that out of your tray because it's going to rot out. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Again, just a quick summary of what I use in my grows, the type of soil or soilless media that I use from Pro Mix. And then, of course, the seeds, as you can see, I just got my order of True Leaf seeds in here. If you guys want to know what I'm buying, that's it right there. And then, of course, I get some sunflower seeds. I bought these seeds back in March of 2025. I seal them up in vacuum saving bags, and I use them. And I bought probably 20 pounds of these black sunflower seeds because these sunflower seeds are one of my favorites. They're hardy. It's a big plant. Look at how big that microgreen is. I mean, it's just huge. It goes great in salads. A lot of nutrition, a lot of protein. Just pop off your husks. These will pop off in a day or so, but then I just kind of help it out by popping off the tops of these shells. It's a little bit more labor intensive than the rest of the greens, but they're definitely worth it. It's just a really nice plant to add to your grow. And of course, you got to have a scale to measure it out. And then I just have a reminder sheet up here on the wall that tells me, hey, for broccoli, I want to add 26 grams. For sunflower seeds, I want to add 85 grams per tray, based on my experience of how to maximize the the bed without getting too many in there and not having a good growth. For example, I'm still tweaking the cauliflower. I have a lot of unused seeds down in my cauliflower. So one of the things I'm going to do is reduce the seed amount. I'm going to incorporate a bed of the peat on top of the seeds to see if I can increase the germination rate on that tray. A lot of this is trial and error. Been doing it for over a year now, specifically with this tray set up indoors. Something that everybody can do. It just takes a little practice, and you're going to fail, so be okay with that. It's not that big of an investment if you're spending 40, 50 cents on seeds. You can afford to experiment, because this isn't a crop that you had, 4 or 5 months in getting that plant to maturity to harvest it. You're not losing that time, that valuable time. This is a weekly experiment for you, and you can capitalize on your mistakes and make a much better product every week and improve your ability. Just keep track of everything you do in a journal. That's the way I did it. I typed up everything on my phone so I could compare myself to the prior successes and failures that I had, and made those adjustments. All right, sorry this thing went longer than I thought it should, but like I said, I think there's a lot of good information there. You see my pump in the background. That's the pump I use. It's a fish tank pump. Provides this hose. This hose goes up to the top of the reservoir, and I just dunk it in there. And then from down here, I have 5-gallon buckets of water right from my tap. I put it up in there and I run it. I got asked the other day on the channel, what do I use my pH level at? It's the level that comes out of my city water. And lucky for me, it hovers around 6.9 to 7 on the pH scale, which is above the optimal for microgreens. They say microgreens do their best, they thrive the best in 6.0 to 6.3 on your pH scale. So again, if you want to go through the extra steps, you can, but you can see that my peat-based media, the Pro Mix, does a good job of buffering that pH in the water. And I don't add any other amendments. I don't pH up my water or pH down my water to get it to a better number. They're not in this water for very long. It's 7 days. They just need the water to open up the seed so they can get that taproot set. Then they're drinking up water to start that initial stage of leaf growth, their first set of leaves. There's not enough time to have a problem if you're doing this correctly. You'll never have root rot on the bottom of your of your trays if you're getting your plants in and out of this water bed within 7 days. There's no opportunity for it to go bad on you. If you're in there, let's say I take this cantaloupe another week, I'll start to have some root issues, and I'll start having nutritional issues because the plant needs something to thrive on after a couple of weeks. So again, keep it simple, 7 days, good watering flow through the autopot system. That's all you guys got to have, and good quality seed source. Again, I recommend True Leaf. My conversion ratio is very high because they do a good quality of providing fresh, high quality genetics, and there's a lot of reviews on the website on True Leaf, and you're getting those discounts for buying in larger quantities. You can buy up 5 pounds, 20 pounds. I just don't go through enough seeds, and I don't want them not to be as fresh as they possibly can be. So I let them store it. I only buy fresh quality seeds that I'm going to go through in about 3 months. I don't need to have a big store of them. I don't have a lot of storage for that. So again, thanks for watching. This is Manny with Dallas Microgreens. Bye.